Sports.
Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their signal caller, the fifth-year quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. It's going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Here's 2nd and 8. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew's got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure. And he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't,
Oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Flyers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done because as it stands right now, they won't have the first-round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 111 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 2nd and 1. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and 4. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And on now is the punter, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this 1st quarter.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken right on the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Houston's offense taking over again. They are coming off the game last week, which was a very interesting game. And, Charles, ultimately it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Flyers take a 3-touchdown lead. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC.
Well, with 3 weeks left, they are in one of those 3 wild card spots, Charles, but that spot is not clinched, and there's not a ton of breathing room for them, so the bottom line, they just need to focus on winning right now.
Yeah, they totally have their eyes open, don't they? They know they've got teams trying to run them down. They can hear their footsteps. The question coaches ask guys in the locker room, do you have another gear left to pull away and lock in that playoff spot? If so, let's hit it.
He'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he'll return return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. A little juke. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Takes it at the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack
to about the 48-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone, and that's a defensive touchdown.
Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And now out comes Minnesota.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Well, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Roughing the passer, defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun, and he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The last run got 3, now here's 2nd and 7. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and they will remain well behind.
And this is a commentary in today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
And now out comes Houston. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. One more go for this offense in the first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 42-28 was the final. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. The visitors could never get the ship going in the right direction this year, but they do get the win there to up their mark to 6-9. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, on the other side, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Houston set to take over. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
He's got the 1st down and more. Inside the 10.
Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 83 yards. And the Flyers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time.
The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Now, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Holding offense.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back to throw again. And he'll just get rid of it. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts, because he definitely needs some assistance.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now back to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 4 yards out.
And the Vikings are able to at least get one score back.
No problem there on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete. So they bring out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And as a result, possession switches hands.
No surprise, they try to throw the ball 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right? Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
They'll look to throw again.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll set up to throw. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion.
2nd and 3.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Back to throw here. And that is caught. But he will.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Vikings 17.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
On gain of 2. Brings up 4th down and less than a yard.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 2. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
2nd and 5. And my goodness, another interception. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
48 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 50-yard line.
Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the home team here, it'll be a 13th win on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.